In for the Night is a podcast that discusses movies, random topics, and gives you an excuse to just stay in for the night. My voice is gravelly because I'm getting sick.
Y'all see my face? Yeah, it's the face of, I don't know, but it's just that face.
Explain why you have a face.
On the subject again of wifey's future husband, the Bridgerton guy. She wants to leave me for him. She already told me in my dreams.
In your dreams, which is out of my hands?
You did.
It's like you getting upset.
Multiple times.
It's like you getting upset with me when you dream about me cheating on you or something.
I don't do that. But
I know you don't, but I'm just saying it's like that. Yeah. Because it pisses me off and I'm like, bitch.
See? No, I just have dreams. You're like, I'm leaving you for Bridgerton guy. That's what you call him, Bridgerton guy. You don't even call him. You don't even call his name. You just Bridgerton guy. I can't remember
his name because it's difficult, and I'm like, dude, be Kyle or something. So
but then I had a dream also that you left me for him, but then he wasn't dressed as Bridgerton, and you're like, fuck, I made a mistake.
Take me back.
I'm just kidding. I haven't had any dream like that. But
so last weekend I went to the haunted soiree for Halloween with my best friend Elle. If you're listening, Elle, love you. And so I dressed up as like the night court queen, like lady of the night court. My brain's not working. Your
brain never works.
Bitch.
Arrow told me to say that.
Bitch. He would never say that. He's too cute.
He is too cute.
He's like the really nice, like popular guy in high school, and he's like nice to everybody. He's never mean. Like his friends might be nice,
that nice guys in high school are not popular. They get fucking abused. Now, if he's a nice guy but he's a good-looking guy, then that's different. But if he's a nice guy and he's like me, then no, because I'm not cute.
You're cute.
Thanks, babe. You say cute to babies or dogs.
When do I say the baby's cute? I call them little monsters and say get them away from me.
No, I'm just saying most people call babies cute. Not you, obviously.
Most people.
Not you, obviously. But you say the dogs are cute. So you can't say I'm cute if the dogs are cute.
So my aversion to children, it's not like children are okay. Like it's just they should be seen, not heard, and not sticky. And that is my problem with kids. Like, I just, ugh.
It's not even that. I can deal with stickiness. It's cleaning up their shit that I don't want to do.
I get to the gym, and the gym has, like, a daycare, and this one little girl was running across screaming her head. I'm like, oh, my God! Like, it was a monster. And, like, all the staff that was there after I checked in, they were like, what? I'm like, oh, it's a kid. And they're like, oh. Like, that explained it, but they just like, looked at me and like...
Yeah, because they're, like, thinking you're a weirdo.
No, kids are just, ugh. Ugh. Like, ugh.
Ugh. You think everything is ugh. We have dogs and you're like, ugh.
I have, like, my moments where they're really good and then other times when they're so bad and I'm just like, fuckers.
It's only him because he's a puppy. He's not even a year yet.
He, like, whines so much. Like, the gate's open. Fifi is with you. And he'll just sit at the bottom of the stairs in the basement whining. Like, he can go outside. He can choose to come up. I think he's just whining because of the indecision of where he wants to be.
Or he's just whining because he wants us to be down there with him.
Fuck that.
He wants you to go play with him sometimes. When do you play with the dogs?
As we discussed when we got the dogs, that is not my responsibility.
That is your responsibility.
I play with them sometimes.
If we had kids, then what? It's just going to be my responsibility to play with the kid?
We're not having kids, so moot situation.
Mute situation? Moot? What does that mean?
Do you want the Joey reference or it's like a cow when it says moo? It's just moo.
I mean, yeah.
That makes sense. But moot means it's like there's no reason to discuss it. Like it's like there's.
Ooh, I'm gonna say that to you all the time now.
You will not remember in 5
Probably
seconds.
Not, but
what was the word?
Mute.
Moot.
Same thing.
I'm sweating. All right. Well, welcome to the 4.5 minutes in, and we're just being rambly. It's our podcast, so fuck off. Don't fuck off. Please like and subscribe.
Tell your friends, your family, your dogs, your neighbors, your cats.
Goldfish.
Snakes.
Oh, we don't want the snakes.
I'll take snakes.
Chinchillas.
They'll protect us.
I don't think so.
An anaconda would.
An anaconda? Well, are we in the Amazon? Fuck.
No, we don't need an anaconda then because we have Wonder Woman. She's from the Amazon.
I think she's from the planet Amazonia.
Amazon.
Amazon is like in fucking South America.
They're Amazon women. They're Amazon god women.
No, but there's from the planet Amazonia.
I'm confused the reference here.
Planet, country in Earth. How is that like?
Why can't there? So there can only be one Amazon. There can't be multiple Amazons.
There's multiple Amazon.
There's multiple black people, right? There's multiple white people, right?
It's Bridgerton.
Oh my god, I hate you so
the
much.
Duke. You brought it on yourself, bitch.
I was gonna say something really mean.
Hi, my name's Katie, and I'm slightly sick.
Yeah, she's sick of thinking about Bridgerton guy.
Hi.
Just trip down the stairs.
Trip down the stairs. Oops. Oh, let me help you, bitch.
Babe, there's something down there at the bottom of the stairs. What? Your face.
The police go, what happened? She fell.
She just slipped. I don't know. Because we have a gate right there, so that's perfect. Anyone can slip on that.
We can trip over it.
Exactly. And you'll be going down the stairs. So my story is sealed.
What?
What?
I feel like you mean your story is sound.
That one.
What's your name? Occupation? Where are you from? Let's go.
What do you mean?
You have to say your name. I said my name.
I didn't hear it.
Just because you don't listen to me doesn't mean I didn't say it. Y'all, you need to write in and tell him off. Like, I will read all of your letters telling him off.
Didn't hear it.
As you look at the sun.
That's bright as the sun. Shit. Lur.
Great.
See? Was that so hard?
How was your week?
I don't know. We'll see when my new remote works or not.
Yeah, he got a new remote for his video game.
So I've been playing, for y'all who are gamers out there, Lies of P. If you like Dark Souls type games or you like Elden Ring, play Lies of P. You'll love it.
Great. Are you going to ask me or am I just going to...
Ask you what? What your name is? What's your name? Are you trying to get something out of your teethuses?
No, it's just the frustration.
Oh,
that's the frustration.
With the dogs?
Your existence. Like.
That's what I was put on this planet for.
See, everybody says marriage is hard, but you have to. That means you haven't found the right person, because I can be frustrated with him and tell him off, and then the next minute we're hugging and being cute.
No, she hates me. So
very true.
See?
So marry somebody you hate, but can just say you hate them and they don't care.
Nope.
Anyway, my week has been good. It's been busy. We are very.
How's your week?
Bitch. It's been really busy. Frustrating. I'm going to call Dom out because he's being a little dick yesterday. I can say that. He's my boss and our friend. He's on the podcast, so we can say his name because he introduced himself.
Well, yeah, he was on it once.
So he's my boss. He's Ty's best friend. They've been friends since, middle school or elementary or something?
Over 20 years.
Yeah, so totally fine. But I needed him to talk to me and call me, but he refused to pick up the phone. Text, please. Text, please. And I'm like, texting you back and forth, you get so confused. I can explain things and get things done faster. But I'm sitting here for 2 hours trying to get this thing done, and he just refused. I don't know what happened. I was like, is everything okay? He's like, yeah, everything's great. And I'm like, pick up the damn phone then!
Well, then don't do anything until you talk to him.
Well, no, it's just I needed to get shit out and whatever. But it was really frustrating. He's like, what's up? And I'm like, you are fucking frustrating. And he's like, love you. And I'm like,
he just threw up.
Oh, gross. And he's eating it again. Everybody take a shot. Wade is being disgusting.
I didn't even hear him throw up.
Well, it is what it is. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm sure you're tired of hearing us ramble about random shit.
I'm sure they're not. That's the whole point of the podcast.
Well, get ready. So the movie is Rosemary's.
Ready for what?
Well, the topic is bonks, soup bonks.
Bonks?
Bonks.
What does that mean? Oh, thought that's what the topic was. Bonks. I was like,
So the movie we watched was Rosemary's Baby for Halloween. I realized I thought I saw it before, but I guess I didn't. And yeah, 1968. What a weird movie. But you get to read the description. Yes, we use my phone because he's too lazy to look it up.
Drama, horror. It's not horror at all. I mean, it's got good reviews, though, but that was also back in 1968.
Even now, people like that movie.
He's so gross. Let's see. We got an 8 out of 10 on IMDb Bizzle.
Yay.
96% on Rotten Potatoes.
Wow. That's good. I'm choosing good movies.
Pretty high up there. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a good movie. But,
I'm not peeing, I'm pouring wine.
I mean, it wasn't bad either. It's just not the ending that I wanted. Anyway.
We can discuss that.
Synopsis.
Penis P9.
A young wife comes to... Oh, my goodness. A young wife comes to believe that her offspring is not of this world. Waffish Rosemary Woodhouse.
Wayfish.
Whatever, same thing. Mia Farrow and her struggling actor husband Guy, John Cassavetes, R.I.P. He passed away like
2
over
years after
20 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years after I was born.
2 years. You said 1989. It's not 2 years after you were born.
When was I born, babe?
87. I was going to say 86.
Plus 2? Plus 2?
I was thinking me. I'm 85.
Not as old as you, babe.
It's true. Moved to a New York City apartment building with an ominous reputation and odd neighbors Roman and Minnie.
I like the name Roman.
Cassavetes, Sydney Blackmere, and Ruth Gordon. When Rosemary becomes pregnant, she becomes increasingly isolated, and the diabolical...
Good word.
Truth is revealed.
Yum. Ooh, diabolical.
Oh no,
it's
just
so
like
yummy.
It's just a sexy word, even though it's.
So you're just going to use it all the time now.
Fuck yeah. Truth is revealed only after Rosemary gives
head.
Yes. I mean, she probably did give Guy head Johnson all the time. Birth.
Oh, okay. It was completely different. So we have Mia Farrow on this one. John Cassavetes, R.I.P. He died from heavy drinking. He had the liver problem. I can't remember what it's called.
Well, yeah, when you're dealing with devil stuff. You know?
I mean, he did that before. Okay, first and foremost, I will say, never trust a guy named Guy. All the guys who are named Guy I have ever met are assholes. So, and he's a dick. I don't know if it was the time frame or what, but throughout the movie, he's just like insulting his wife, and she's just like, oh.
Well, he didn't start insulting her until after he joined the fucking witch covenant when she cut her hair after she was already pregnant.
So she gets her hair cut. She's like, I went to Vidal Sassoon. How do you like it? It's fucking ugly. Pretty much what he said.
Basically, in a nutshell.
Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, just be like, oh, it's nice. Like,
I thought her hair was nice like that.
I do like it longer. It looked better for her face structure. But
sure, it was fine for her face.
But anyway, that was just where I was at.
But there was a lot of people that were commenting on her hair. They're like, yeah, you should. Even her girlfriends were like, yeah, you should have left it alone or some shit. Like,
and I'm just wondering if that was just the time frame where people are just like obscenely open about shit.
That's the way it needs to be now. But then there'll probably be a lot more death.
And people start crying.
Because people have guns now and carry them around, so... And they can't take fucking criticism at all.
Like, somebody asked me back in college, I remember this, her name was my name, Katie, and I forgot her last name. I'm not going to say it because that's against policy. Anyway, and she asked me if her hair looked okay, and I inhaled, like, yeah, it looks great. And she's like, fuck off, man. Like, really... Because she knew I was lying. I was like, sorry. I just
tell the truth.
I try to spare people's feelings, but at the same rate, I don't like lying to like people. So
I don't like lying, period.
Because you suck at it. You can't get away with it.
If people don't want to know the truth, don't ask me.
Well, yeah.
Now, like, obviously, if a big person comes up to me and like, "Hey, am I fat?" I'm just gonna be like,
do you really have to ask that?
Yeah, like,
hey, slugger.
Like that already. It's obvious. If someone, I did not know Arrow was right there.
So take a shot. Arrow is under her feet.
I like how I kicked him. He starts wagging his tail, looking at me. He's like, "Oh, he's touching me."
And Wade had finished eating his barf, so take another shot for that.
Now he's passed back out.
He's like looking around. He's like, "What?"
He's like, "Who's talking about me?" Fucking weirdo.
There's one thing in the movie that actually hit me. I forgot to bring my notebook in, but
Smooth.
I remember it. It's when Rosemary and Guy go to Roman and Minnie's apartment the first time for dinner, and they're talking, and Roman at the dinner table says, "Oh, the Pope doesn't have to be religious. He just has to pretend to be holy." Mm-hmm. And I thought that was like fucking like, boom, my brain exploded everywhere, because it's true. Like, I think about that fact all the time. Like, how many ministers, preachers, those, like, those TV evangelicals, the TV
I don't know what evangelicals means.
Evangelicals is those pastors on TV. So I was just like wondering, I'm like, are they just doing it for the money, or are they actually
for the money?
Obviously. Like, my parents used to watch the dude who would put hands on you and then you'd fall back dramatically.
So fake.
I was like, come on, Mom. But my parents
fake.
Believed that, and I was like, are you fucking serious? Are you that stupid?
There might be some, like, when I used to go to church back when I was younger. My mom and I, we went like every Sunday, and then all of a sudden, not sure what changed or what happened, but then my mom just all of a sudden stopped going to church. So I stopped going to church because I was younger. I was like,
you had to
not even a teenager. I was just doing what she was doing. But anyway, we were in church one time, and I've seen like multiple people, whether it's true or not, like supposedly get touched by the Holy Ghost, where they start like fucking freaking out and shit. I still don't know if because you don't know what they're feeling, so I don't know.
It's for attention, people. It's for fucking attention. Do I speak in tongues? No, you fucking don't. You're just saying gibberish. Let's be real.
You speak in tongues?
No. Oh. There was a person in our church back in the day where she's like, I speak in tongues. And I was like, first and foremost, the rule is you have to have somebody there translating. If nobody's there translating, you're not speaking in tongues. You're just talking for attention. Like, get over it. Religion is just a fucking cult. Get over it. Like, I'm over it. I don't like religion. I have my grounds. I'll give you a quick rundown. My parents are both pastors of a very, they're from the Nazarene church, which is very strict. So you're not supposed to dance. You're not supposed to go to movies, whatever.
Ooh, you're not supposed to have sex before marriage.
Burn me at the stake. Whatevs.
Like 100 times.
Seriously. Probably more than that. With you only.
Sure. Is it that meme again? Is where the guy's like, he's like, oh, how many guys have you slept with? And she's like, only you. All the rest of them kept me up at night. Is it kind of like that?
No. Anyway, but it's just, I was in it. I was very hard in it, but my question remains. I'm like, why can't God be unconditional when they say it? Like, he's not. So I'm over it. I'm agnostic. I believe there's a higher power out there, but what it is, I can't define because I'm only human. So,
and our brains
our brains cannot comprehend what's out there, because Buddhism was around longer than fucking Christianity. And if you hear grinding, it's Arrow chewing on something.
He's right below us chewing on his bone. So
take a shot every time you hear it. So you might get wasted this episode.
Probably.
But those are my views on religion. So I'm just like, if you don't hurt me, I won't hurt you. You have your religion. I don't give two shits what you preach at, what you believe in, just as long as you don't try to rope me in.
I'm going to try to rope you in.
To what?
What do you mean?
What is your religion that you're roping me in?
Spiritualism.
I want a full definition right now.
Spiritualism? Like, my definition, because I don't give a fuck about anybody else's, but my definition is kind of like the same thing you said. I believe there is a higher power. But the way that the higher power is viewed from most religions, I don't.
It's too strict.
I don't believe in that.
I don't know. We're not trying to be a religious podcast or anything. I'm just throwing my ideas out there. So that's why I'm like, this Rosemary's Baby. Hey, if you want to be a witch, be a witch. No problem. Actually, I probably join because I like that shit. But the way Roman and Minnie went about it, they kind of went about behind her back. They helped Guy get his like career off the ground, which he was a struggling artist, and he's a dickhead first and foremost. But
that's usually who gets like, what is it? Like the upper hand is dicks.
Right. And so when I don't like that. I don't know. It's just like trying to recruit. If I willingly go, that's different. It's like any cult. Like you're kind of forced to do it, and then you're forced to give all your money. And it's like, how is like Christianity different from what happens in Jonestown? Like,
I mean, if it's a vampire thing, I would rather be forced into it.
Drink the Kool-Aid, have your communion, same fucking thing. I'm over it. Okay. So anyway, Rosemary's Baby.
I mean, it's kind of a religious movie, so it's not like we're off subject talking.
It's not, and I'm just like the way they went about it. I don't know. She probably wouldn't have gone with it if they asked her to be like Satan's vessel.
But see, the reason why they picked her is because she's very like loving. Obviously, her friends would talk shit about her. Her husband would talk shit about her. Everybody in the movie was talking shit about her. And she was still friends with all of them and still married a guy and still friends with Minnie and whatever his name is. So it's like, obviously, she's a very loving person. So even though she's having Satan's baby, she's still going to be loving to this baby because it's out of her. And that's probably why Satan picked her. That's my guess.
But how did Satan pick her? I didn't understand that portion. At the end, they were like, oh, Satan chose you. And I'm like, how?
It's fucking Satan. He's probably either just as powerful as God or maybe a little bit less. But
because he's a fallen angel, so.
Yeah, he knows, all that shit.
My question about this movie specifically is, how did Satan choose her? Like, what realm was that a choice? Was it just because she was young enough to have a baby?
I think that's part of it,
right? Because like at the end, the dude said, "Well,
because it's part of their group. So all the women in their group were all old. Every last one of them. The only one that wasn't was Rosemary. Because he made that comment. He was like, "Well, so and so want to like help the baby out or whatever, but it'll be wrong because they're older."
Right. Anyway, so that portion is just. I don't know. Well, you don't like the ending. Let's talk about that, and then we can move on.
I don't want to talk about the ending because I want people to see it if they want to see it. I mean, the movie overall is good. It is an old movie, so there's no CGI. The movie is 2 hours and 16 minutes. It literally goes up to 2 hours and 15 minutes because the credits are like less than a minute long. Seconds. So it's literally like you see a full, 2 hours.
For this type of movie, you have to realize, back in the day, it's a slow burn. Like, you do not get into the spooky shit. You don't get... It wasn't really
scary. There isn't any spooky shit.
But for the 1968, I believe it was, 1968, it's just like... I thought it was going to be more elaborate in my brain, because I thought I watched it before, but it was... I remember The Omen, not this one, because it's kind of the same premise. Like, the child is from Satan, whatever. But, that's where I was like confused a little bit because I thought I had seen it, but I hadn't. And so watching this, yes, you get to see Mia Farrow's chits.
You get to see some taters for sure.
We watched Carrie, and Ty has never seen the old Carrie back, like the first one. And
all the bushes.
I told him, like, oh, prepare yourself for the first scene. And he's like, what do you mean? And like after they finish a volleyball game, they all go in and they're down to their skivvies. They're walking around the locker room, bushes out.
Like, literally bushes out. Like, you can walk by them and get smacked in the face. Like
with a bush.
With a bush.
But it just made me laugh because I was just like, he's like, yeah, well, back in the day, they didn't wax. They just left
Like, you can't even see anything. Like, how does that...
It's supposed to protect from debris getting in.
Well, yeah, because there's already debris in there.
What?
From the hair.
Oh my god, it's their hair. It's supposed to protect. It's like eyelashes or eyebrows.
That's a little, like, overkill. Like, 100 times.
We're not promoting Carrie, but go watch Carrie, the original version. You will see bushes.
I mean, I like the version of
Chloe
Moretz better. I like that version better.
It's pretty much identical except less bush.
Well, they don't show any nakedness in that one. No, it's like they do a lot of different things in it. It's just like I think the original one is more like
in tune with the book, because the book is
like Carrie's scared to use her powers, which I get it. Like she just found out she has these, like, and her mother's super freaking religious. She doesn't want to use them that often. But in the Mort's one, she's like, I got this power, and then my mom's being abusive. I'm gonna fucking use it, and she uses it. So it's kind of like a different version, I guess, of
it's like the flip side of what happened originally to what happened now. It's from Stephen King, so Stephen King is a great writer, obviously, because he's successful.
I'm not sure I understand.
Jesus, that scared the crap out of me.
Jarvis. Stephen King is super famous. He has all those books out, like everything. So Carrie is from his brain. So the book itself is terrifying, and it matches the original screen script because she's supposed to be a feeble girl who's just like, I don't know what to do.
Well, it's kind of like Chronicles, where the kid's kind of the same way, but then once he gets powers, he's like, fuck all of you people.
Boom.
And then just shit on everybody.
Anyway, so back to Rosemary's Baby. I'm going to give it a score of a 7.
I don't know what to give it.
Just give it what you feel.
I don't know how to judge that. Can we do like a 1 out of 3?
Okay, we'll do 1 out of 3. I'll give it a 2.
2.
Okay. So
that's easier.
He mentioned before he's never going to watch it again. It's just an old movie.
I just don't like the ending. For those of you who won't watch it or will watch it, if you do want to watch it, then just fast forward a little bit. But the ending was not that I perceived was going to happen. I thought that, because the last scene is her finding out that they lied to her. She walks into this hidden apartment that's
not
behind.
Hidden, it's their apartment. It's just connected by a door from her apartment.
Oh, I thought
Remember the closet? Remember the closet?
Yeah, but I didn't know that's like a whole nother fucking apartment over there.
It was supposed to be, originally was one apartment, and they split it, and they put a door in between.
Well, yeah, that place is huge then. I want to live there. It's definitely bigger than our house.
Let's join the witch cult.
With that fucking other side, it's definitely bigger than our house. But anyway, she goes over there, and she finds out that there's like people are in there with the Satan baby, and she's carrying this big-ass knife. I was hoping that she was going to go in there and just like freaking murder everybody. You know, like they lied to her. They gave her the Satan's baby, blah, blah, blah. And I was just hoping she was just going to go ape shit. But no. I'm not going to say what she actually ended up doing, but obviously if she didn't do that, then
it's marked as horror, but it's not really horror.
It's not horror at all.
The only horror that happens is she got raped by Satan.
She got raped by Satan. That's it. I mean,
that's it. That's terrible. It's awful.
Bad.
Like any rape is terrible.
But I mean, getting raped by Satan. I mean, that's kind of, you can't really do anything about that.
And then even that scene was weird. I'm like, old movies are fucking weird. Watch it. Give us your review of it because it's so fucking weird. Like, it is a weird situation.
You're just gonna bring it back over.
I know.
It won't be by us. So.
Oh no, Wade's chewing on it now.
Oh.
I was like moving because it was really loud, and I was like, everybody's just gonna hear.
Because he's on the freaking floor.
All right, so take a shot. Arrow's now disappointed because I took his toy away. So you got our scores. We're gonna move on to our topic, and I just want to point out, just like midway through this, if you are not a Patreon donor, donate. You can see our faces. We make a lot of faces as we talk. So this could make your life more fun. Because...
And exciting. Seeing our cute little faces. Ow, dude. That's abuse. No, don't jump up here. No.
Nope. All right, take a shot. Arrow's there. And now we're going to get into our topic. Do you remember what our topic is?
Fuck no.
Of course you know. It is...
Get down, buddy.
I like how this was your choice.
Get down. Thank you.
Just a highlight, everybody. Ty had a problem with thinking of topics to discuss, so pretty much that's my job now. So I'm telling him what his topic is. So to make
we have a perfect
relationship
deal.
Sure. So
I give her love and affection. She gives me topics.
I'm getting the short end.
Literally the short end. You said it.
Okay. So what we are doing today is the topic of Elisa Lam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lam Lisa.
Lam Lisa. Okay, so I want to like put it out there. If you have not watched the video online from YouTube about Elisa Lam, do it.
I haven't seen it.
I will show you after. Remind me.
Probably won't, but
it is so...
I'm forgetful, so...
It's very fucking creepy. It is a video. I will just go into a brief discussion of it before we actually dive in because this is actually pertinent information. Okay, so there's a video out there on YouTube where if you just like type in Elisa Lam elevator or something, you can see... Do not put it on top of that.
It's empty.
Okay, whatever. She is in an elevator and she pushed a button and she's waiting and then she's kind of moving around like weird and then the elevator doesn't close.
Is she wearing like a white top?
Gray or white top, I don't remember.
Oh, I think you showed me this.
I think I have. Anyway, she like peeks around the corner, like she steps out, peeks around the corner, and then gets back in, and then she pushes a button again. And it does nothing, and then she starts doing weird movements again, and then she peeks out again, nothing's happening. Usually elevator doors close, but a good 30 seconds pass, and the doors don't close. And she sits there, and she's like, what the fuck? And then so she starts pushing all the buttons, nothing happens. The doors don't close. So she gets frustrated and gets out. Maybe like 5 seconds later, the doors close. Weird. It's really weird.
Yeah, because whatever was on that floor wanted her out.
Right. We'll get into it. So that's the premise. So if you have not like looked at that video, just quick look up. You will be disturbed.
Doesn't she end up dead?
We'll get into it.
Well, you didn't finish it, so you just said she stepped out.
That's the video. She stepped out in the video. We don't have any other video. That's just her video.
Oh.
Okay. So we're going to talk about Elisa Lam today. Sites. Holy fuck. I have a lot. Wikipedia, refinery29.com, popsugar.com, allthatisinteresting.com, womenshealthmagazine.com, and sites.gsu.edu. So I actually got a university website in there.
Oh, nice.
All right. So we're going to do a little bit of background before we actually dig into the disappearance and stuff. So background. Elisa Lam was born on April 30th of 1991. I am 4 years older than her. Her Chinese name was Lam Ho Yi. So her first name is
Lam Ho Yi.
So in Asian cultures, usually they put their family name first because that's the respectable way to do it. So her last name is Lam, and then Ho Yi was her first name, but she went by Elisa because they moved to Canada.
Canada.
All right. So Ty, you get to read number one.
You read number one.
Bitch, I do everything for this podcast.
She's a Taurus. Taurists are hardworking, determined, and have a big heart. However, they tend to show partiality to their own group and can...
You can hear Gordon take a shot. Callous, yeah.
Callous towards outsiders.
So I just wanted to put that out there. And if you hear Gordon, please take a shot. He is whining now outside of the door. So Lam, the daughter of immigrants from Hong Kong, was a student at the University of British of Columbia, which is in Canada, although she was not registered at the beginning of 2013. So in mid-2010, Lam began a blog named Ether Fields on Blogspot. Over the next 2 years, she posted pictures of models and fashionable clothing and accounts of her life, particularly her struggle with mental illness. Read number 2.
Oh, well, that's why. She has mental illness.
We'll get into it.
That's
We'll get into it. Just read number 2.
In a January 2012 blog post, Lam laminated that a relapse at the start of the current school term had forced her to drop several classes, leaving her feeling so utterly directionless and lost. She titled her post, "You're always haunted by the idea you're wasting your life," after a quotation from novelist Chuck blah, 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 blah.
Was that his name, really?
Fuck yeah, it is.
Okay. A little over 2 years after Lam had started blogging, she announced she would be abandoning her blog for another. So she just jumped. And she started on Tumblr. Nouvelle Nouveau.
That's new.
Nouveau is new. Nouvelle, I don't know what that is.
I think show or clothes.
Oh, maybe something like that.
I think it's show.
It consisted mostly of... the content mostly consisted of fashion posts, quotes, and a few posts in Lam's own words. The same Palahniuk quotation was used as an epigraph. So the Chuck one that you just read was also in this new post. Okay. Lam had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression. She had been prescribed several medications for her mental health issues. Read number 3.
Which usually makes it worse. Wellbutrin.
Wellbutrin.
Lamotrigine.
I gave you the hard words on purpose because it's funny.
Oh, these are medications? Oh, no wonder. I thought these were people's names. I was like, the fuck?
Wellbutrin. Lambritraclach.
The Q-tiapine 14, whatever the fuck that means.
I have no idea.
Dextertrin. Dexedrine. Sapopa. Spansula. And venlafaxine. Ooh, I think I said that one right, actually.
I was so mean to you.
What do you mean? Hey, I need to learn how to say words, so it's fine.
Yay, words!
Just like, I need to know where Alaska is. So.
Where's Alaska?
It's fucking in Mexico.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay, great. According to her family, who reportedly kept her mental illness private. So, if you are aware of Asian cultures, usually if there's any...
Wait, she's Asian?
She's from Hong Kong, babe.
And her name is Elisa Lam.
Elisa Lam. I said her Chinese name was Lam Ho Yi.
Yeah, but I thought you were just saying that because.
That was her name, because she's from Hong Kong. Are you not listening to anything I tell you?
Nope.
Struggle.
Not at all.
Fuck. All right. I am sweating my tits off. It is warm.
Yeah, so I'm taking my sweater. It was cold.
I can't take it off because I'm not wearing a bra. Yes,
Whose fault is that?
Because my tits need to be free. Okay, so according to her family, okay, back to what I was mentioning. In the Chinese culture, you usually keep like family issues quiet. You don't express it. Like you just keep everything in closed doors. Mm-hmm. So, according to her family, who reportedly kept her mental illness private, Lam had no history of suicidal ideations or attempts, although one report claims she had previously gone missing for a brief period. Lam had a history of not taking her bipolar medications and, as a result, on several occasions, suffered from hallucinations that would cause her to hide under her bed for refuge. She was hospitalized at least once for one of these episodes.
She needs help.
Well, I mean, they gave her help, but you can't force somebody to take medication.
I mean, you can.
I mean, yeah. Take a shot. It was here. Lam was 21 years old by the time she arrived in Los Angeles. Read number 4.
Number 5? Got it.
27.
27? Read number 27?
Yeah.
On 26th of January, or January 26th, she arrived in the city by Amtrak train from San Diego and part of a solo trip along the West Coast as a short getaway from her studies. Yeah. Her intended final destination, was Santa Cruz.
So she was doing a West Coast trip during her vacation from school. So we are getting into the disappearance. Wait, say it better.
Disappearance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She checked in the Cecil Hotel near downtown Skid Row. Number 5.
Oh, that was fast.
I know.
There were countless suicides, gunshots to the head, ingested poison, jump from buildings, murders. Richard Ramirez stayed there as well as the Black Dahlia.
Okay, so in the Cecil Hotel has a dark history. There's a shit ton of shit went down. I didn't want to list everybody because there's so many. Get down. Arrow's loving time. He just needs a little attention, so take a shot.
No, he wants to lay on one of the beds with the dogs, but there's no room.
So the Cecil Hotel had a lot of shit going on, and so I just listed, like, in general what was happening. So there was a lot of suicides, there was a lot of murder attempts. There's Richard Ramirez stayed there during his stints while he was killing and raping people and shit. There was even, like, the Black Dahlia stayed there before she died. Like, that's where her final, like, I think stay was. Do you remember who the Black Dahlia is?
Mm-hmm. Well, she ended up, like, split in half in the grass somewhere.
Yeah, she was in a field. Like, the person who found her, who thought she was like a mannequin, that was just like tossed there. And then she realized, oh, fuck, those are guts. Like, kind of thing.
Wow, that's crazy.
So just going into what the Cecil Hotel's background is. And I question to why, I mean, probably for financial purposes, that she stayed there. That's my mentality.
It was cheaper?
It was probably cheaper, yeah. Because she's a college student. She doesn't have a lot of money, unless her parents funded this. But there's like a million other... There's a million other places to stay, but she chose to stay there, which is kind of a little ominous that it was premeditated.
What was premeditated?
That she stayed there. So it's like a lot of shit went down there, and so they...
Does she know about all this stuff going down there?
I would assume so. I don't know.
I mean, you should
I
look
can't
up.
ask her.
Oh, no, this is... When was this?
In 2000...
Oh, yeah, we have internet and shit then, so...
2013. 2010.
Yeah, she could have definitely looked up.
2013. Okay. So, she was initially assigned a shared room on the 5th floor, but her roommates complained about what the hotel's lawyer would describe as a certain odd behavior, and Lam was moved to a room of her own after 2 days. So, I guess this is kind of like a hostel situation where you share rooms with people just for cheap murders.
No wonder a lot of death and murder happened.
I mean, I don't think that was before. This is now. Like, this is closer to now. So it was a hostile situation. Not a hostile situation, but it was a hostel where she would share a room with people, but her roommates didn't like it. She was acting weird. So... According to Amy Price, the manager of the Cecil Hotel in Stay on Main, at the time of Lam's disappearance, Lam was leaving notes for her roommates that said, "Go home," and "Go away," and would lock the door to the room and require a password for entry.
Wow.
So it was weird. Like, if I was her roommate, I would be like, bitch, fuck. Like, I wouldn't stay there, but I would still be like...
Let me in.
Let me in my fucking room. So read number 6, please.
A few days before her disappearance, Lam attended a live taping. Oh, tapping is 2 P's. Taping of Conan in Burbank, but was escorted off the premises by security due to disruptive behavior.
So not only did she act weird in the hotel, she acted weird on her excursions. So Conan O'Brien, the dude, she was escorted off the premises from a live taping. That's like...
Oh, is that Conan O'Brien?
Yeah, Conan.
I just said Conan. When I saw Conan, I was thinking of the movie Conan.
Conan the
Barbarian.
Wrong time frame, babe. But, so not only was she weird inside, but she was weird outside. On the 28th of... Excuse me.
What was that?
It's like my brain, it's phlegmy. On the 20th of January, Elisa was moved to a solo room. So after she checked in on the 26th, I believe. She was weird for 2 days. Her roommates complained so much that they just upgraded her to a solo room so she could stay by herself. They were like, here you go. Mm-hmm. So she's in a room by herself, which is fine.
Which is worse.
Maybe not. Lam contacted her parents in British Columbia daily, so she would call her parents every day while traveling up until the day she disappeared. So on January 31st, so January in LA is still nice. Fuck off. 2013, the day she was scheduled to check out of the Cecil Hotel and leave for Santa Cruz, her parents did not hear from her and called Los Angeles Police Department. So her parents are very... I want to say Tiger Mom and Tiger Dad, being that they're very helicopter parents, kind of, but they allowed her to go on this trip. Mm-hmm. And so the stipulation was she needed to call them daily. Oh,
so it's like Taken.
Sure. And so with that being said, as soon as they didn't receive a phone call, one day they called the LAPD.
Good.
And I mean, that's great. That her family did the right call. If you didn't call me in a day, I'd be like, he's probably busy, whatever. Mm-hmm. I would call you repeatedly and text you and be like, bitch, answer your phone. But you probably wouldn't, because you ignored me when you went to fucking San Diego, and then you called me at 12 p.m. at night asking if it was okay if your friend sucked your dick.
Mm-hmm. Obviously joking, but...
At 12 o'clock at night, you ignore me all day. Suck my dick. Anyway, her family flew...
Same thing.
Her family... That actually did happen, folks. He did ignore me all day. And he only called me in the evening, and I hung up on him.
I never looked at my phone.
Bitch, you had it on you. You read my text.
No,
you had
I
an
didn't.
iPhone then.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I did not read your text and not answer.
Anyway.
Or I was in the middle of answering and just got distracted.
So, good on the family. Her family flew to Los Angeles to help with the search. Awesome. Number 7, por favor.
Porfis.
Por favores.
Hotel staff who saw Lam that day said she was alone. Outside the hotel, Katie Orphan. That's a interesting name.
Sad last name. I was thinking that when I wrote it down.
Wow. She should change that. Manager of the very friendly while getting... What? Manager of... Oh. I was like, that does not make any sense. Where is it? Manager of the last bookstore was the only person who recalled seeing her that day. I skipped a whole line.
Oh my god.
I was like, that does not make any sense. What the fuck? Manager of the very friendly.
I was like, wait, that doesn't even make sense. I knew she was a manager of a bookstore.
Oh, that's great. Was the only person who recalled seeing her that day. She was outgoing, very lively, very friendly, while getting gifts to take home to her family. Orphan told CNN she was talking about what book she was getting and whether or not what she was getting would be heavy for her to carry around as she traveled. Jeez. Orphan added. That's a terrible last name.
That is a terrible last name. That's where I'm like, I question, I'm like, why would you think to buy a book for your family as a present? Like traveling, I would do something from the area.
She's psycho.
Her family's probably very, like, I think.
I'll buy a book for you.
I mean, because I like books, but the thing is, I wouldn't expect you to travel to, let's say, Paris and buy me a fucking book. I would expect you to go to Paris and buy me a miniature version of fucking the Eiffel Tower or something. Or
that and a book. Maybe they have different badass books over there. You never know. And you probably wouldn't have read them because you've read all the ones here in the States.
You could Amazon Prime it. Like, why would...
It's just better getting the original.
Sure. All right, police searched the hotel to the extent that they legally could. They searched Lam's room and had dogs go through the building. So remember the dogs. That's important. Including the rooftop, but the dogs were unsuccessful in detecting her scent. But we didn't search every room, Sergeant Rudy Lopez said later. We could only do that if we had a probable cause. So to believe a crime had been committed. So if they had a blood trail going into a room, they would be able to go in there. That's probable cause. But they had no probable cause. So they just searched the common areas, her room, the roof. That's it. Read number 8, please.
On February 6th, a week after Lam had last been seen, the LAPD, well, obviously things have gone south already. 6 days or a week.
A week after,
the LAPD decided more help was needed. Flyers with her image were posted in a neighborhood and online. It brought the case to the public's attention through the media.
On February 13th, after another week with no sign of Lam, the LAPD released a video of the last known sighting of her taken in one of the Cecil's elevators by a video surveillance camera on the 31st. So the video that I mentioned earlier is this video. In approximately 2.5 minutes of footage, Lam alone makes unusual moves and gestures. She appears to press every button on the elevator panel, peers into the hallway, then leaves the elevator at one point while its doors remain open. When the doors fail to close after she returns, she leaves the doors closed later. Ty, what is your impression of the video? I was going to show it to you before, but I forgot. So, suck it. Okay.
Wow. Slacker.
So the video itself is creepy. It's very. I'm going to show it to you after we record, just so I can get your honest opinion, because it is fucking creepy. It's real weird, and it's just. It's like this girl's in the elevator. Where is she going? We don't know. What's she doing? We don't know. That's a theory later in this. So stick around, folks. All right, so we're going to go on to Lam's discovery. So we find her. Yay.
Okay.
During the search for Lam, guests at the hotel began complaining about low water pressure. Some later claimed their water was colored black and had an unusual taste.
Ew.
And some claimed it was a sweetie taste. Read number 9.
Sweetie Todd.
No, not Sweetie Todd.
On the
Sweetie
morning
Todd.
of February 19th, Santiago Lopez, a hotel maintenance worker, found Lam's body in one of 4,000-gallon, I'm not reading that part, tanks located on the roof providing water to the guest rooms, a kitchen, and a coffee shop.
So there are water tanks up on the roof.
Those should not be accessible. They should have like locks on them.
I like that you said that. Through the open hatch, he saw Lam laying face up in the water. So her body's face up. Dude. I just did it. If you're not a Patreon donor, I just did a dead face. Lying face up in the water. The tank was drained and cut open since the maintenance hatch was too small to accommodate equipment needed to remove Lamb's body. So they couldn't even get her body out of it. They had to drain the water out of it, let it like go down, and then they had to cut a fucking hole in it to get her out. Like the face that you were making. When he climbed onto the top of the water tanks, he found one already had its lid open. So we're talking about Lopez, the maintenance guy. Upon looking inside, he found Elisa's body floating inside. She was naked, but her clothes were also inside the tank. Weird, right?
Well, yeah.
Read number 10.
On February 21st, the Los Angeles Coroner's Office issued a finding of accidental drowning with bipolar disorder as a significant factor. The full coroner's report released in June stated that Lam's body had been found naked, clothing...
Not naked. Naked.
Naked. Clothing similar to what she was wearing in the elevator video was floating in the water, coated with a sand-like particulate.
Good job.
Her watch and room key were also found with her.
Okay, so she had everything. She had everything on her. Watch, room key, her clothes.
I mean, not her wallet, but...
I mean, she was in kind of like pajama attire when the video was. So, like, maybe she was trying to go somewhere, do something.
Maybe she was trying to get some ice.
Maybe. So, Lamb's body was moderately decomposed and bloated. It was mostly greenish.
That's tasty.
With some marbling evident on the abdomen and skin separation evident. So, decomposition, there's a lot of different things. I want to go to a body farm. There is one, I think, in Austin. We're going to go. Do you know what a body farm is?
Yes. Obviously not.
A body farm is literally that, where they take different types of, like, different bodies and place them in different environments to see how they decompose.
Like human bodies?
Yes.
Like actual human bodies?
Real humans donate their bodies to the science of seeing where, to help for criminals and shit.
That's tasty.
So I want to go. It's on the list. So being submerged in water for like 2 or 3 weeks is going to have an effect on your body.
Oh, yeah, she was in there for that long.
So she's bloated. She's turning green. Mold, mildew, shit like that happens.
Like they have to shut
down. And then
down
a
that whole
marbling
system.
effect. Like that's kind of when the skin separation also is an effect of like being submerged in water. So skin separation or skin slippage is something that happens when like you're in water.
I mean skin slippage.
If like, okay, let's say you died, you were in water for 3 weeks. If I cut around your arm, I could literally skin you really easily. That's skin slippage.
Oh, yeah, because it's not like the muscles are attached to it.
Yeah, because the water had deteriorated those connectors. So, skin separation evident. There was no evidence of physical trauma, sexual assault, or suicide. Toxicology tests showed traces consistent with prescription medication found among her belongings, plus non-prescription drugs such as Sunutab and ibuprofen. A very small quantity of alcohol, about 0.02%. One drink, if. Or like a...
Well, she's small too, so...
Was present, but no other recreational drugs. Investigators and experts have, however, noted that the concentration of her prescription drugs in her system indicated that she was under medication or had... she was under medicated or had stopped taking her medications recently. We know 3 things. Lam took at least one antidepressant that day. So she took an antidepressant. Lam had taken her second antidepressant and a mood stabilizer recently, but not on that same day. So they're thinking the day before or 2 or 3 days prior. And then Lam had not taken any antipsychotics recently. She is on antipsychotics because of her bipolar disorder. She had not taken it. So that's out of her system.
Then she was psychotic.
Maybe, maybe not. So we're going to go into, we have some issues. That's what I labeled this because it's funny. Laugh, bitch.
Giggle, giggle.
Thank you. One of the dogs is growling. Please take a shot. Okay, so we have some issues. The roof of the hotel is restricted to employees. Remember your comment about roof access?
Yeah.
And there's an alarmed door leading to it. So you couldn't go through it without an alarm going off. The hotel staff denied that the alarm went off at any point during Elisa's stay. The other option would be that Elisa climbed the exterior fire escape to get to the roof. So,
I mean, maybe.
I mean, yeah. So instead of going through the door that would alarm, she was like, oh, fuck this.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's what she was doing in the elevator, and it wouldn't go up to that floor because she doesn't have access.
Maybe. That's a good point.
So she's like, fuck it. I'm going to freaking take the fire escape.
After gaining access to the roof, Elisa still would have to climb the ladder on the side of the 8-foot-tall water tank and then open the 20-pound lid to the tank. Due to the location of her body, police believe foul play may have been involved. So, just kind of getting a visual. So, I've seen, if you look at photos online about this situation, there are 4 water tanks. They're all in kind of like a square, I hit my mag, in a squared thing, on a platform. They're all on a platform. And then there's huge 4 things. And then on the side of this kind of silo looking thing, it's a little tiny door you open. Mm-hmm. That's what was open. It's 20 pounds. So it shouldn't be easy to access. You would have
20 pounds isn't that much.
But if you're a skinny little bitch, she's tiny. She's a small person. She's not.
But that little small hatch on the side goes into the tank. Wouldn't water come out of it?
No. Because in a silo situation, the water comes up to a level, and then the hatch opens and you can look in the water.
Oh, and put things in there.
Sure. Why not? Let's put shit in there. Okay. A video posted to the internet after Lam's death showed that the hotel's roof was easily accessible via the fire escape and that 2 of the lids of the water tanks were actually open. So not only was the one that she was in open, but there's another one that was open too. So somebody was going in there. Apart from the question of how she got to the roof, others asked if she could have gotten into the water tank by herself. So that's a question because it's a task. You have to move the ladder because there's no ladders actually adhered to the the tanks. Mm-hmm. They have a regular step ladder you have to climb up. Not a step ladder, but a real ladder that you'd have to step up and climb up and
jump in.
Right. Okay, so that's a question. So read number 11, please.
Number 50. All 4 tanks were 4 by 8 feet cylinders.
4?
Oh, shit.
4 by... I mean, that's longer than 4.
4?
That's 5.
I'm 5'7", so I'm shortening it. So
yeah, that's probably about 4.
4.
So 4x8 foot cylinders propped up on a concrete blocks. There was no fixed access to them, and hotel workers had to use a ladder to look at the water. They were protected by heavy lids that would be difficult to replace from within.
So what they're saying is, if you jumped into the water tank, you would not be able to close the hatch.
Oh, why not? That seems
like it opens. Okay.
Oh, it might have like a mechanism on that keeps it open.
No, it's a 20-pound door.
Oh, all the way. So I'm thinking it's vertical.
No, if you're in the water, you wouldn't. Depending on how high the water level was, if it was like to the top and you could reach it, yes, you could close it. But this is used water. People are using it daily for showers, drinking, blah, blah, blah.
I would not drink that water.
People did. That's the thing. People
That's
did.
So good. But like anyone can access it. That's so gross. Like I would not drink that water.
Okay. Proponents of the theory that the elevator video shows she was under the influence of illicit drugs are not discussed by their absence from the toxicology screening. Suggestions that they might have broken down during the period of time her body was decomposed in the tank, and that she might have taken rare cocktails of such drugs that a normal screen would not detect. So what this is saying is they think that she was maybe on LSD or something, and then while she was in the tank, because it was like a good 3-week period before she was actually found, because she disappeared on the 31st of January, and she was not found, well, two-ish weeks. And she wasn't found until like the 13th of February. So they're thinking that it was disintegrated in her system, because like alcohol, like if you die by drowning or whatever after you're drinking, like your alcohol blood content goes down even after you're dead. Doesn't matter, like, because it'll dissipate. So that's what they're thinking. So the autopsy report and its conclusions were also questioned based on the incomplete information. For instance, it does not say what the results of the rape kit and fingernail kit were, or even if they were processed. So we don't even know if a rape kit or a fingernail kit were processed.
Probably not.
Probably not, because assholes. Like, rape kits should be number one priority. If somebody says they're raped, take the test and fucking process it.
Well, they probably only do that if there's like evidence of rape. They probably didn't see that, so like,
Doesn't
we
matter.
don't need to do it.
If somebody says they're raped, you take a rape kit, it should be processed, whether it's true or not. Like,
if I was a cop or a coroner or whatever, and I found a dead woman's body, I would do a rape kit first and foremost, regardless of what anything else shows.
So just to make not light of this, because it's terrible and our fucking justice system fucking sucks. Rape kits are not processed unless pushed, like the victim is pushing it. So there's a shit ton of rape kits out there that are not processed. They're just chilling, like literally in a fridge somewhere. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they probably would have disposed of them by now.
So there is, when we win the lottery, I said I was going to donate a shit ton of money to this, this cause. But there is like a website. If you just look it up, like processing rape kits or something like that, like there is a website that is taking donations to help force it to process fucking rape kits, because people
I don't know how true that would be.
Well, this is a legit cause. I'm explaining it terribly, but they're trying to get it out there because rapists are just walking around scot-free because nobody's processing their shit. Like, that's not fair. That's not fair to the women. That's not fair to the victims. Like, you need to fucking process that shit and stop.
Well, probably a lot of them, too, is a victim is not alive anymore, so there's no one to push it.
Or they are alive and they're just living with the fear that it's going to happen again. Like, that, to me, that's where our justice system fails people, because you're not locking up the right people. Child pedophiles, like, they shouldn't be out on the street. Like, come on. Oh, you rape a kid? Oh, you get out in 2 years.
I don't understand why they just can't push a rape kit on their own. Like, why do they need to have someone else push it? That doesn't make any sense.
Anger. Lots of anger. Anyway, so if you feel like you would like to donate to that cause, please look it up. I will look it up and I will try to post it somewhere so everybody is aware of it. Probably on Facebook. So be my friend on Facebook. It's totally fine. But that pisses me off the most because our justice system does not care about women. But I just want to throw that out because Roe versus Wade got overthrown. All of this shit going down, the government doesn't care about women. So
it's going back to the 1950s.
Fuck off. Okay, yeah, you get to read number 12.
Oh, can I?
My soapbox is done. I think maybe not.
Probably not. It also records. I don't know which one that's supposed to be. Cut?
Cutaneous?
Yeah, subcutaneous. How did you know what I was trying to say? Oh, because you wrote this or you did this.
I didn't write it. I copy and pasted a lot of it.
Well, yeah, but you did that, so you probably read it. So.
But I know the word subcutaneous.
Subcutaneous pooling of blood in lamb's anal area. Ew. Which some observe who suggested was a sign of sexual abuse. There you go.
Wait, no, continue.
One pathologist noted it could also have resulted from bloating in the course of the body's decomposition, and her rectum was also prolapsed.
Prolapsed.
Fuck does that mean?
Do you want to know what it means? I know, I looked it up.
I don't know what it means.
Her anus was coming out of her body.
Oh, nice. Why? But that's normally with a lot of pushing.
So, death occurs differently. When you are submerged in water, water has effects. And so, with what you said earlier, the subcutaneous, what was it? Subcutaneous
pooling of blood in lamb's
anal area.
So, with that, how she was floating could have a pooling effect. So, since she was floating face up, her lower body was probably lower. So, when she died, it pooled into lower regions because of gravity. And so, the same effect with the prolapsing, her anal and rectal shit was coming out. So, she's pretty much having hemorrhoids.
Fun.
Great.
It's a lot of pushing there.
I looked that up because I wasn't exactly sure what it was. I had an idea and I was right and I hate it. Okay, so the coroner's pathologists were ambivalent about their conclusions that Lamb's death was accidental. So they thought it was accidental. Here's the creepy thing. I put that, the creepy thing. After her death, her Tumblr blog was updated, presumably through Tumblr's queue option that allows posts to automatically publish themselves when the user is away. So, like our podcast, we can schedule our podcast and it'll update when I put it to the date and time. So, creepy. That's like after death, like having stuff posted from me would be real creepy. Her phone was not found either with her body or in the hotel room. She was obsessed with her phone. Okay, she had her phone on her all the time. That's where she did her Tumblr posts and shit. So whether the continued updates to her blog were facilitated by the theft of her phone, the work of a hacker, or through the queue is unknown. Nor is it known whether the updates are related to her death. So there's a few theories on that, just being like, was the person who killed her updating her blog post? Why would they do that? Maybe they were obsessed.
Maybe.
Maybe not. I don't know. But it's just a lot to think about because she was attached to her phone. She would have had her phone on her. Like, that's like very eminent.
Or it would have been in her room. Not
in her room. But the thing is, she never left the room without her phone. And so where's her phone now? It wasn't found. We found her room key. We found her watch, like
clothes
in the water tank. You would think that you would find her fucking phone with her, but it wasn't there. So that's like very concerning. So leaning towards like malicious intent. So you read number 13.
In September 2013, Lamb's parents filed a wrongful death suit claiming the hotel failed to inspect and seek out hazards in a hotel that presented an unreasonable risk of danger to Lam and other hotel guests, and seeking unspecified damages and burial costs.
All right. So the hotel argued it could not have reasonably foreseen that Lam might have entered the water tanks, and since it remained unknown how Lam got to the water tank, no liability could be assigned for failing to prevent it. In 2015, the suit was dismissed. So 2 years later. So it took 2 years to dismiss that. You should have had locks on it.
That's what I was thinking. These water tanks and hotels that public can access should have locks on it. Like, even though the lock outside or has an alarm, like, someone can deactivate that.
Like, that's why, like, I feel like hotels should have sneaky people. I don't want to say sneaky people, but sneaky people. Me. I would find ways to do shit. Easy. Yeah. Like, just have me creep around the fucking hotel and see.
It's like you could obviously climb a fire escape. So, to make all that not be possible, they should have locks on the doors. Either have it to be a key, or have it to be a combination, or have it to be, like, automatic in the fucking
fire standards,
like, security room.
Fire standards, you have to have a fire escape that goes from the roof to the floor. Like, you have to. I think if it's above...
Yeah, okay,
like,
so then if that's a have-to thing, then they should have locks on the water tanks.
And that would have...
Like, it shouldn't have public access. Anyone can access them then. It's not just like a worker or anything. It's anyone can public access it.
Not publicly. Like, because I think, like, you know how, like, fire escapes are? Like, you have the, like, the
usually
zigzaggy...
a little bit off the roof. Or off the ground.
Zigzaggy, and then there's a ladder that is like...
Yeah, but someone can't climb out their window and put the ladder down. She could probably do that herself.
Okay. True. I'm not denying that. All right. So today, Elisa's case is closed and considered by police to be an accidental death. So that's the case right now. That's it. That is all the information we have. My favorite.
So she climbed this ladder... She moved the ladder to the water tank, opened the hatch, jumped in, and drowned to death.
Yes. Face up, which is a little weird. Because
I mean, she could have easily jumped off the fucking building, too. Like,
but she was face up, so that's weird. Usually in drowning victims,
yeah, you're upside down. Yeah.
So, we're going to dive into my favorite part. Do you know what my favorite part is?
Theories?
Yes!
So it's right there.
All right. Theories. We have a shit ton of theories, and I'm very excited about these because they're so fucking bonkers. Like, all right. So, let's get into theory one. She died by suicide. Easy. The first obvious one. Okay. Lam had an active blog on Tumblr, and she documented her struggles with anxiety and depression. I wish I could put part of my brain into a taped shut box and shove it to the back of my closet for the night, she wrote in one post. Lam's last post on her Tumblr also didn't suggest she was planning her own death. Usually people write notes when they're planning their own death. Like, usually suicide. That's what 9 times out of 10 people write saying, "Hey, I love you, sorry, blah blah blah," shit like that. I have arrived in La La Land, and there is a monstrosity of a building next to the place I'm staying, she wrote, referring to the Cecil Hotel. When I say monstrosity, mind you, I'm saying as in gaudy. And then again, it was built in 1928, hence the Art Deco theme. So yes, it is classy, but then since it's LA, it went on crack. Fairly certain this is where the Baz Luhrmann needs to film The Great Gatsby. So she was saying it was super gaudy. It was built in 1928. Totally right. Cecil Hotel was very gaudy. It was very Art Deco. So sharp designs, like leopard print, shit like that was around. And so she was saying that they should have filmed The Great Gatsby there.
Never seen it.
It's boring. All right. Read number 14 through 2.
Lam was murdered. The coroner concluded there was no evidence of foul play, but plenty of people still think otherwise, as shown in the Netflix doc, pointing to Lam's unusual behavior in the elevator as evidence that she was being followed, along with her naked body. The lid in the water tank where she was found was also closed, which would have been impossible for her to do if she had climbed into the tank. But the hotel maintenance worker told Netflix that the lid had been opened when her body was discovered. He said he closed it before the police came. Some people have seen, or some people have even... Okay, so right there, that's not right. Because if he found a body, unless he went up there, saw that it was open...
Looked in.
Closed it and was like, okay, but he was like, wait, did I see something? Open it back up and then look in.
So
that's different.
What he claimed, I have not seen the documentary. I want to watch it. What that sentence is saying is he went up, he looked into it. In his mind, he closed it to preserve the crime scene. He was trying to help the police. So he called the police and be like, yo, I got a body, bitches, like, come here. And he was thinking, like, I don't want it to further...
I mean, the police are going to be there in 30 minutes or less anyway, so...
Yeah, but the thing is, in his mind, he was doing right. Like, he was doing right.
No, that's tampering with a crime scene.
And that's my question. Okay, so that's not a theory here, but my theory is he was obsessed. He did it, threw in, opened it, closed it, opened it. His fingerprints are going to be all over it. Mm-hmm. You'd be like, oh, I closed it because I wanted to preserve.
Well, he's a worker there, so of course his fingerprints are going to be over it.
Well, no, because he never goes up there. Like, he was just doing a routine check. Yeah, once a month, maybe, I think, that he goes up there.
Well, yeah, so his fingerprints are still going to be on it.
But he doesn't touch the tanks. But when he saw that it was open, he was like, oh.
Yeah, that's a little sketch.
That's a little sketch.
Some people have even pointed the finger at Pablo Vergara, aka Morbid, a metal rocker who shared a video of himself inside the Cecil Hotel days after Lam's body was found. He also teased a new music video called "Died in Pain" around the same time. But as the doc explains, Morbid actually visited the hotel in 2012, not 2013, so his stay didn't overlap with Lam's. He also later said that he was in Mexico recording an album when Lam went missing. In the docuseries, he explained that he suffered from mental illness issues from the accusations.
Okay. So, in a nutshell, what that's saying is that this popular rock star, I have never heard of that person before in my existence, so whatever. He was staying in the Cecil Hotel. He took a video there, and then they were trying to blame him for the death. But...
Because they're always trying to blame
somebody. Yeah. So... It didn't work out
because... If anything, they should be blaming the worker, but they blame some rock star.
But the thing is, allegedly, the worker. Like, we have to say allegedly because we don't want to get sued. But he was not even there during the time frame that she was there because he was in Mexico. Like, and the thing is...
That was the rocker.
Yeah, the rock star.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the worker.
No. The worker was there. Obviously, he was there.
Yeah, I was
but I'm just saying, the rock star... He took a video in Cecil Hotel, and then people took it as he was there during her stay, and then he murdered her. Like,
because people are dumb. If he was there a whole year before, there's like timestamps when you post videos.
Exactly, people are dumb. So let's
if
just
he
move
was
on.
not there,
so
then...
obviously that's not true. Like, we're moving that away. Okay, so die by suicide is still an option.
Murder is still an option.
Let's go to number 3. She was abusing substances. Plenty of people have pointed to Lam's behavior in the elevator as evidence she was using hallucinatory drugs. That's a hard word. Hallucinatory.
Hallucinatory. It's easy for me.
Shut up. World
Now,
War.
World War. That's always been complicated for me.
But Vice reports that her toxicology report didn't find any evidence of drugs or substantial amounts of alcohol in her system. So,
Because she was there for 3 fucking weeks.
but if you're using like heroin or any cocaine or something, it's still going to be in your system, no matter what.
Maybe, maybe not. She was in water. So maybe
I would test the water.
they might not all know what happens. I mean, unless they've like tested a bunch of different theories, they might not have
Maybe that's
tested
why the water was sweet.
when a body is submerged in water for 3 weeks and it has heroin in the system. Does it stay in the body or does it dissipate? They haven't tested cocaine or they only test.
Okay.
And you have to do it one at a time. You can't do all of them or whatever
I
the
have
case
a really
is.
serious question. Okay, so in this situation, if let's say Elisa was on cocaine, heroin, a smorgasbord of drugs, and she drowned in the thing,
Water tank.
sure. Would her drugs seep into the water and into the drinking water of people? So if they drank them, would they get high on it?
It depends on how much she took.
Like, let's say a shit ton. Like, she just like, her face was plowed in cocaine.
If it comes out in her shit or piss or from her body in general, I would assume so because it's
Like
still
you
the
sweat
drug
it out,
itself.
Right? Okay.
I would assume so. Do I know that for sure? Because, I mean, that's like people drinking a bunch of alcohol and then they piss it out, but I don't think you're pissing out alcohol.
Straight up alcohol.
Yeah,
You can't
so
re-drink it.
You can't re-drink it and get drunk again or get drunk. So I don't, maybe not. Because I think the body is actually like absorbing it
Breaking it
and
down.
breaking it down.
And then secreting it.
Yeah. So I don't think
That
I don't
sounds
think
fun.
so.
All right. So, but Vice reports that her toxicology... Did I read that already?
I don't know.
But Vice reports that her toxicology report didn't find any
Oh, yeah.
evidence of drugs or substantial amounts of alcohol in her system. So there was nothing. Like, there was nothing in her system.
It was also 3 fucking weeks later. So
Number 15.
maybe they should have found her body
Number 4.
before. Like the last one we found, like talking about the
The family who was
the family who was in there for 4 years or 3 years or 2
Yeah,
years
it was
or
like a long
it's
time.
like
In the desert. In the middle of the desert.
in the desert. It's
Well,
like
in Oklahoma.
anything could have happened. Shit happens over a year being out in open world like that. 4 years later to a human body, fuck, get out of here. That's and then
So
this
read
one 3
number 4.
weeks.
Number 4.
You read number 4. I'm trying to talk here, rude. It was a copycat murder in the 2005 movie Dark Water. People at the apartment complex were the main characters. Live complain that the drinking water is dark and tastes off. That leads to the discovery of a girl's body in the water tank on the roof. Okay, what? They're talking about a fucking movie? Like, what?
Okay, so in 2005, before this happened, the movie Dark Water, which is actually a very good movie, they find a body in the water tank above the apartment building. And so what they're saying is this is a copycat murder. Somebody wanted to mimic
Yeah.
it. Like, it very closely.
I mean, yeah.
Very closely. Because...
It's
not
like,
an-
actually not very closely the exact same.
Exactly. So they're thinking it's a copycat murder.
I like that one.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
That's still on murder, so technically 2 of them are the same. It's just one is a copycat murder, the other one's just a murder.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready for this next one?
No, I'm not ready. I gotta go use the restroom. I gotta eat. I gotta get a drink. Okay, I'm ready now.
This is bonkers. Okay. So this is off the wall.
So off the wall? Like just boop, boop. Got it.
All right. So theory number 5. I don't even want to say it because it's so stupid. All right. Lam was involved in a tuberculosis test. Give me a second. This one is ... out there. I put that. That's what I put. That's my words.
We've heard you.
All right. So some people note that there was a tuberculosis outbreak at the same time on Skid Row, just a few blocks away from the Cecil Hotel. Armchair experts, I don't know what that means, point out that the test of the type of tuberculosis circulating was called Lam. Elisa. So Lam-Elisa. Oh, fuck me. Okay, wait. I need to look at it closer. Okay. ora binomanon.
That was perfect.
Fuck yeah. Lam, also known as, and then enzyme-linked immunosuppressant acai. Elisa.
Perfect.
Those were hard words.
No,
I'm sorry. I want
it.
you to read that fucking name. Read it.
No.
That was hard. All right. Which weird coincidence. Some have also said lamb was used as a biological weapon to help take out the homeless population. Since it's on Skid Row, Skid Row is where the homeless stay.
Yeah, but that didn't make sense. She was in a water tank at the hotel. They don't hand out water to the fucking homeless.
Take out the homeless population, and that she was later killed after someone discovered that she had learned too much. But her autopsy didn't show any signs of tuberculosis, so seems extremely unlikely.
Yeah, someone's just pulling shit out of their ass cheeks.
All right, number 16. Number 16.
6, you mean?
6, you get 16.
Sex, you mean?
According to The Richest, one of the most famous theories says that Elisa Lam was playing the so-called elevator game, which is a deadly Korean game with the goal reaching a dimension in which nothing exists but the player. This is possible because there were several similar unsolved cases throughout the world, which the victims also died in the water tank. However, in accordance with the YouTube video Elisa, the documentary, the actual game...
Documentary. Documentary is different. Documentary is like a video.
The last part of it,
Tary, is Terry.
They're spelled the same, pronounced differently.
Well, documentary. The actual game should stop at the 10th floor, but Elisa Lam was on the 14th floor, which is a floor the game does not involve at all. The paranormal scholar, furthermore... Oh, I guess the paranormal scholar says that. Furthermore, she did not even follow the steps of the actual elevator game. It does not seem like she was playing the game. Well, then why fucking throw that in there?
What? What does that mean?
We're going to play a game. No. What is this game, you may ask? Here are the rules. Play if you dare.
Oh, the elevator game? Oh.
This was actually a very popular opinion of what she was doing because of the way she was acting. So, because of the video, this is what it is, but it's interesting. All right. You must be in at least a 10+ story building and an elevator alone. If somebody is in the elevator with you, it won't work. Mm-hmm. So you have to be solo. So evening time. So what she was. Step 1. Get on the elevator on the first floor. Step 2. Press 4. And when you reach the fourth floor, don't get out. Press 2. Step 3. When you reach the second floor, press 6. Again, don't get out. Step 4. When you reach the 6th floor, press 2. Don't get out. Step 5. When you reach the second floor, press 10. Step 6. When you reach the 10th floor, press 5. Again, don't get out at any of these steps, bitches. Step 7. When you reach the 5th floor, a girl will come in. That woman is not human. Don't talk to her. Don't look at her. If you do, she'll take you away. Dun, dun, dun. Step 8. Press 1. And if the elevator instead starts going up to the 10th floor, then you have succeeded. You have reached another world where there is no one except you. If the elevator descends to the first floor, exit as soon as the doors opens. Do not look back. Do not speak. Don't talk to the woman on the elevator. Fuck her. She will ask stuff. All right. Step 9. If you get off on the 10th floor, the girl will ask, "Where are you going?" Don't answer. That is like the number one rule. Don't talk to this girl in the elevator. don't do it.
She obviously talked to her.
Maybe. You will know you have arrived at the other world by one indication and one indication only. You're the only person present. So you won't be able to see anybody else. You're alone, solo. How to return. So, after in this world, if you actually get off whatever, there's rules to return to the normal world. All right. So, if you don't get off on the 10th floor, then just press 1. If it doesn't press, keep on pressing until it works. So, just keep on pressing that number 1 button, bitch. If you do get off the elevator, use the same elevator to return. So, if you get off on, like, if there's 2 elevators to the, like, wherever you're at, go on the one that you actually exited.
Yeah, that you were exiting.
So, press the buttons in the same order as you did from steps 2 through 8. You should finish at the 5th floor.
No one's going to fucking remember that.
I mean, you'll have a list. Like, fuck.
Well, she didn't have a paper with her in the elevator, so.
I mean, she had her phone. Possibly. I'll show you the video. All right. When you reach the 5th floor, press the button for the 1st floor. The elevator will ascend to the 10th floor. Press any other floor's buttons to cancel the ascension to the 10th floor. Press any other... No, I just said that. You must press the button you choose to cancel the ascension before you reach the 10th floor. So if you reach the 10th floor, you're fucked. So you have to press a button before it reaches the 10th floor again. After you reach the 1st floor, check your surroundings. If anything seems off, or even the slightest small detail, do not exit. So if there's nobody down there, like, just don't exit. Stay on the elevator. Because that's like your transport, whatever. If you suspect something is wrong, repeat steps 2 until your surroundings look as they should. So keep on repeating those steps over and over again until it actually comes out. All right. So that is the Korean elevator game. If you decide to take it, don't. You have to be solo. And people try to take, like I read on there, like people try to do it with friends. It doesn't work with people. Like, you have to be alone. That's the point. Like,
yeah, just tell your friends and get in one of the other elevators.
Do the same steps and they'll stop at the same place.
I'm pretty sure you could probably talk to the elevators and they will hear you if they're close enough.
All right. So those are the theories. This is the end of the case. This is all the last of my notes. So my question to you is, what do you think happened?
I go with the last 2. So number 4 and number 6. Well, my last 2. Number 4, number 6. That the copycat killer or it was the elevator game.
Really? Mm-hmm. Elaborate or no?
Why? It's already elaborated.
So you think it's the elevator game? You really think it's the elevator game?
From the way she was like trying to press buttons, looking outside.
The doors
didn't close.
Yeah, I'll show you the video.
The door's not closing.
Like, it had to be the elevator game.
That's what I think too. It's that, or somebody killed her, and I think it was the handyman guy.
Yeah, or the worker. Yeah.
Those are my 2 because it's just too weird. Like, if she's bored in her the hotel.
Like, she could have committed suicide in
Any
a million different ways. Like, why choose to
go into the water?
For one, go upstairs, not be able to get in because she shouldn't be able to get in there because it should have been locked or the alarm would have went off. So she would have to go outside, climb the fire escape, move a ladder to the fire or the water tank, climb in,
that's a lot
but
of
then
work.
Take off her clothes and then jump in. That seems a little bit too much to commit suicide.
Like, conveniently commit suicide.
She could have used a knife in her fucking apartment. She could have jumped off the building. She could have fell down the fire escape.
Yeah.
She could have hit her head with the door. Like, there's so many different ways that she could have did that. Or she could have just went down the hall and talked to Richard Ramirez.
The worker had access.
The worker had access.
Like, he knows how to disarm the alarm.
He's,
like,
no offense to women, but he is not a small, petite woman, so he can easily open a door, close a door to the hatch of the water tank. He can easily move a ladder.
Check it later.
Yeah. So.
Like, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, bro. Like, it's just too convenient. It's like allegedly you found her. Allegedly it was open. Allegedly, like, and you closed it again.
And another
like,
hatch was open. I mean, but then maybe it could have been some other guest.
It could have been like
I'm sure they just didn't have one worker on this hotel premises. There had to be multiple workers.
Anybody who had access to the alarm code. That's in my brain. Like,
so
anybody.
A manager, supervisor,
all workers.
Because
so I read somewhere people went up there to smoke and they would disarm the alarm.
And then this chick was already like acting psycho. So there could have been a lot of different theories, but I think either a worker or another hotel guest did it, or the copycat killer, or the let's see, which one would be my number one though?
Yeah.
Out of all of those, the copycat killer seems like
more realistic
because obviously copycat killer. The movie came out in 2005. It was picture perfect how that movie was.
Yeah, kind of.
Was a girl found naked in the water too? In that movie?
I believe. I haven't watched it in a long time, so
I've never even heard of that movie, so...
Oh, maybe that should be our next movie. No, just kidding. Yeah, my theory is I like the elevator game, which makes her delusional. That makes her kill herself, so it's technically suicide. Or... I believe somebody who works with the hotel killed her. Whether it was supposed to be a copycat or not, like, I don't know. I think it was just a disposal.
I definitely don't think it was suicide, though.
I don't think it's suicide.
That seems like too much work.
Because, like, it doesn't match the normalcies of people who commit suicide. Usually they write a note, the letter or something, and... Her phone is missing. Her phone is missing.
Just the thing itself is just too extreme. Like, she did way too much. If it was... a suicide for her to do, like, no. Most people would jump out, especially there being a tall building. Whoop, easy.
Like, usually suicide's supposed to be easier actions. I'm putting bunny ears, not
going up there, not being able to go through,
having
going out,
multiple tasks, because then
like that would at least have to take her an hour.
That you have so many ways to back out. That's the thing. When suicide happens, usually it's like instant, like
quick,
hanging,
something quick,
cut your wrists, like
things that you can't like stop
back out of.
Technically, she can't back out once she gets into the water tank, but that's like a long process to get into the water tank.
And for the fact she was face up, that's weird. That is weird in itself. If you drown, usually you're face down.
Yeah, because, I mean, you have to be underwater, and then when you... I mean, but it depends on... No, the way that is, it couldn't have been a suicide.
Yeah, it couldn't have been a suicide because her clothes were thrown in there next to her after the fact. There are theories out there that she might have jumped in for a cool dip because the hotel doesn't have a pool. So maybe she was hot, and she was like, oh, I'm just going to go swim. And she jumped in... And then while she was in there, she was struggling with her clothes. She took them off, and then...
I mean, maybe.
That's a possibility, yes. Like, because of the situation that her mental state was in, obviously.
Maybe,
that's a possibility. But it's just too clean like that. Like, blame her.
I'm pretty sure if she would have tried to go through the access door and couldn't get in, she would not, like...
have tried to climb out the fire escape.
Yeah.
Like, I would not have thought about that. Like, honestly, if I was staying at the Cecil Hotel...
I wouldn't have thought about that either.
Right.
But, I mean, she is smart, probably, I would assume. So
I feel it is more intact with the fact somebody knew how to get out.
Yeah, I think she was taken out by somebody.
Not sure who, but...
I mean, staying in a room by herself and shit, like... But we shall never know.
We shall never know. This is an unsolved mystery, and we can't solve it because the person... that question is dead.
Yep.
I'm sorry, folks. That was interesting. Okay, so next episode, Ty gets the movie, I get the topic.
What is my movie again? Oh, yeah. Dungeons and Dragons is my movie, only to please the wifey because her Bridgerton husband's in it.
Oh, that's why he got depressed earlier. So, Dungeons and Dragons, you can watch it on Vudu, Amazon Prime, Redbox.
There's a few others, but they're not
others.
like anything that I've
Just look
known.
it up. He wanted something action-y because we've been doing a lot of dark, sinister shit.
Well, not
lately.
that. It's just Rosemary's Baby had zero action in it, and
It
I want
did have
action.
zero action. Yeah, he's thirsting for blood.
I am.
My topic, you will have no idea about it, and I know you won't.
Whoopi Goldberg?
Yes.
I knew it.
No. It's called. It's Carl Tanzler.
Well, I guess I'll learn
All right,
who this is.
folks. I am not. All of our episodes are great. Love all our episodes. This one's going to be bonks. Seriously, bonkers. You're going to hate it, and I'm going to love it. So, Carl Tanzler, do not look him up beforehand, folks. We're going to get into it. I'm so excited.
Good.
Yay. All right. So that's our episode, folks. In for the night, we are doing the We're Not Qualified episodes. If you have any advice, questions, stories, whatever you want to share with us, share with us. We will share it online. So you can access that at inforthenight69@gmail.com or go to our website, inforthenightpodcast.com, and go to contact and submit there. What else can you find on our website, Lur?
Well, we've already mentioned about Patreon plenty of times, so
Patreon
merch.
and
Or you said it, merch.
All right. So if you want to see our lovely faces, definitely join Patreon. I'm doing a pose. He's smiling weird. But
That made me blind.
are you blind? Why are you blind?
Because I was squinting my eyes. I don't know.
Weird. Definitely join Patreon because we have faces you want to see because we're gorgeous.
Well, wifey is. I'm not.
No, you're hot. Or purchase merch.
Debatable.
Not only do we have In for the Night merch, but we do have other merch that's very entertaining. Definitely look into it. If you don't, that's fine. We love you anyway. But the thing that we want you to do is fucking subscribe and share with your friends.
Yeah.
That is the minimum you can do. We need more subscribers. We need more downloads. And it's only on y'all. You're doing a great job, but do better, folks. Anyway, so that is the end of our episode. We hope we gave you a reason to stay for the night.
And until next time, peeps, Lala says, peace out.
No, but you have to do it right. Peace out.
Why say it like that?
Because that's how she sounds.
No, she has a deep voice.